Hey guys, it's me, Gabriel, your Wolfpack leader and young healer, coming to you. Excuse me, I don't know if you heard that one. Um, um, Coming to you with that morning boost when we stop running. So, in life, we are often confronted with situations that don't appeal to our sensibilities to the extent that they've offended us or we're afraid or angry by them. They've done something to us that has kind of caused us to be upset, and we don't want to deal with it. As much as we say, "Oh, I'm fine," and you can, and I've seen those people. I have there's people in my life, um, but like I've also know people who, you know, they kind of seem, well, they're running from their problems. But the thing about life is that those people will either literally come back into your life, or they'll come, somebody will else will come take that place of them in some manner or another. They may not do the same thing as they did before, but they'll make you feel the same way. They'll kind of invoke a same sense of emotion, and I think it's a disservice to ourselves and a delaying of the process of our healing when we regard those as like these challenges, these kind of these discrepancies. We complain about them, and we don't see the blessing and the opportunity for healing to take place. We're missing the point. We're wasting time, as it were. That's all it is. It's not like God's like, "Yep, you're going to hell if you don't uh, you know if you don't do all this stuff right." I mean, in a sense, you're in hell when you don't forgive your brother, but not out of punishment, but just by our own elect. But that's not the point. The point is that um, yeah. So in was it? I think maybe it's Romans. Well, I think Paul says it. He talks about work out your own salvation through fear and trembling, and I think that's a passage that can seem a little odd because God said, we're also proclaimed that God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of a sound mind. Um, so of love and a sound mind, I think that was it. But the point is that I don't think it's so much that you have to be afraid and like scared, but it's go work out your salvation through the places where you're weakest, where you feel that fear and trembling. Because God strikes at us, He kind of hits us where we're weakest, because that's where we need the most growth. Because God does not want us to, and will not let us get into heaven, even if we have 1 ounce of hate still residing in us. No stone will not be unturned, as it were, and nor should it. Nothing that isn't totally perfect should not enter God's kingdom, nor your kingdom. You shouldn't be like, well, that's God's kingdom. My kingdom, I can allow all this nonsense. Like, we should hold ourselves to a higher standard. Now, with all this, the reason it is imperative that we forgive our brother through these circumstances that we see him in, because often our brother seems to reflect the parts that the brothers that we seem to not really get along with, the smoker, the drinker, or the prostitute, rapist. I mean, all these things we don't like those things in ourselves. Someone who's maybe overweight or something, and so what happens is that we project that out of ourselves, and so we project that onto others. And some of you might say, well, I'm not responsible for that person being fat or that person doing X, Y, and Z. No, but what's happening is that you're not allowing the face of Christ to be seen in that person. You're, at the very least, you're what you're doing is you're pretty much focusing on the base level of where they're at, and it's unto us to be able to see the higher realm of their existence. By that I mean, when you forgive them, when you are loving to them, you're able to see the face of Christ at all. Because we're told that when what you do to one, you do to me, as Jesus says. So it's biblically sound that you see the Christ. We have unto us the Christ to see in each and every one of us. And see, so many of us are running from our problems and our fears that by doing it, we're kind of like, think of it like you're running and you're throwing all this negativity out. Because think of the thing you got to remember. What you give is the gift you will receive. So if you have that fear towards somebody, what you're doing then is giving that out. And it's kind of like it'll attach itself to who it may. And so now you see that projected out. And that's why, though, you can also still be forgiving to that same person who, where before, there was all this hatred and negativity because they're not as you are. Now you can love them because you recognize just how much they are. That person may not have power over you anymore. Or you're able to see a change in their thought to be more loving. Because you are giving that gift of love and peace and joy. And that's really cool. Because again, it's not so much about what you get. You're going to get something, let me tell you. In life, you get stuff. You're going to get some feeling. But it's more important, entirely more important, the love that you give. Because that will help you see the face of Christ in all. And the more you do that, the more you look at them as opportunities, as workout sessions, because you're working it out in this moment in life. And that's really cool, man, that we have this vista of paints, as it were, to paint this beautiful picture together, and that we can gaze upon it in beauty and holiness. So that's what I got for you. Hope it has helped. Your spiritual opportunity for the day, I would say, is try to stop running and away from your problems. Just one, even if it's just one. Just think of one, even big, small, whatever. And really focus in on this thought that what you give your brother is your gift to yourself. So give love. Just give love. Don't get so caught up in, well, if I do that, then X, Y, and Z, it's going to be a disaster. Like, just do it. Just do it, as Shia LaBeouf said. Anyways, I'll leave you there. Went a little bit longer, but hope this has helped. And from here at the Wolfpack, wish you well. Godspeed, my friends. Peace.